Phosphor Dot fans, we are back once again with another Apple II oddity from the archives. This one is a rare instance of a fan-made game. And it's kind of interesting if that's the case, because I'm trying to get a handle on when it was made. So, unlike normally when I have normally when I record a Phosphor Dot Fossils piece, I have the game booted up and ready to go so we don't waste time getting into it. But in this instance, I'm actually going to warm boot the game so you can see, so we can look for copyright notices. So let's do this thing. The game is, as you can see, I already have it booted up over here. It's the Battle of Hoth, which, from the Baked Apple Users Group in Tokyo, Japan. So let's reboot, because there is a screen that pops up before this. Copyright 1980. Okay, now if that is accurate, there's something really interesting about this game that we'll talk about when we are done with it. Obviously, you are flying the snowspeeder for the rebels, and you're trying to take out the walkers. You might think that this is going to be, this is just going to be an Apple II port of The Empire Strikes Back for the Atari 2600 or the Intellivision. No, it's very, very different. The best thing you can do is try to time things so you are at the correct altitude behind the walkers. It's easier if you're coming up from the bottom. Well, I say it's easier, but the next one appears almost immediately. Oh, game over. Alright, so we start from scratch. Yeah, I knew that he was going to get me there. Alright, I need to start worrying about this guy down here, because he's about to get to the generator. Okay, and I need to start climbing. Oh. Gotta intercept this guy. As you can see, we're on a timer. And, the inexorable onslaught of the Empire waits for no man. Okay. Time to get down here and deal with him. Oh! I don't think I've ever run the clock out. I've always gotten my butt handed to me by the AT-AT drivers. Cool action figure, not my favorite person in the game. This is, I think I may actually like this better than the Parker Brothers Empire game, because you're dealing with, and this is obviously something that you couldn't have done on the 2600, but on the Apple II, it's certainly doable. In fact, judging by the visual cues on boot up, it looks like this is programmed in integer basic, which is not exactly a common thing in the Apple II gaming pantheon. So, my hat's off to whoever coded this. I didn't even know the Apple had much of a following in Japan. You know, we kind of associate it with it being the all-American computer that a couple of guys invented in their garage. And, oof. When they're that far back, it's hard to get behind them to dive or climb. Alright. Now, do you recognize the basic play mechanic of this game yet? And this is why it's really interesting if it was actually released in 1980. Because if that's the case, then somebody beat Midway to the basic play mechanic of Root Beer Tapper by several years. Oh no, they're going to get the generator. Oh. Hell hath no fury. Ow. You start out with 6 speeders in the game. I almost think you need to start out with something more like 7 or 8. It being an integer basic, yeah, that should be a pretty easy hack to jump in and make. You know, if I really felt that strongly about it. Yeah, the heads are impervious to blaster fire. But you've seen the movie by now. Surely you already know that. Yeah, unlike the Parker Brothers game, you cannot dive in from behind. Oh no. I can't. It's not registering my shots. Alas, the Empire wins again. Since I'm such a terrible snowspeeder pilot, I don't think I've ever gotten to see what happens when you actually run the timer out. Maybe we'll find out soon. Maybe we'll find out while I'm recording. I've got to get this right. See, this is why I'm not rogue leader. I like to take out as many as I can in rapid succession while I'm right there, and you might as well. Go ahead and get up here. But yeah, this is basically Root Beer Tapper. You know, instead of AT-ATs, that game gives you unruly bar patrons. And you're a bartender instead of a rebel snowspeeder pilot, obviously. But it's the same basic play mechanic. You you've got to, defend one side of the screen from anything reaching the other side. Might this actually be the time I run out the clock? Six, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, result. Well, there you go. That's what happens. Well, I found out when you did. So this is the Battle of Hoth for the Apple II. Really interesting if this is a fan-generated game. I'm wondering if there is another game using the same mechanic as this and Tapper that predates both that maybe I'm not accounting for and that I'm missing. It's a lot of fun, though. It's, would this have been a well-received game if it was commercially released? Yeah, but the fact that, a users group in Tokyo apparently put it out there for free, well, even better. So let's see that again. 1980 by Takumo. So there you have it. The Battle of Hoth for the Apple II. Probably a game you've never heard of, but one that's actually, turns out it's quite a bit of fun, and may actually be a piece of gaming history, because unless there is a similar game mechanic predating both this and Root Beer Tapper, then now we know where Tapper tapped the idea.